Tell me when.
We're ready to go.
Hello, everybody. Welcome, Kannaway Nation. I'm so excited. My name's Brad Tayles. I get to host tonight's call. I've been dreaming, hoping, praying about this call for the last week and a half. As soon as we had this special guest inked and signed on the dotted line to be part of this show, I haven't been able to sleep. I've been getting the word out to everyone because when this person talks, people listen. And I'm so excited to hear what he has to say. And he's got an open forum. He can just go from A to Z. He has no set script. He's got such a powerful story. But the first person I get to talk about is our CEO and someone who's come to us about 2 months ago, maybe 2.5, 3 months ago now. And I've got all the respect in the world for this young man. He's young because he's about half my age, and not quite half, but he looks like he's half my age. And we became really close over the last 2.5, 3 months. And it's a joy to work with them. I'm not there this week. I'm in Michigan. You can see I'm a little bit more casual. It's a lot later here than it is in sunny San Diego. And I'm going to turn it over to my partner, CEO Blake Schroeder. Are you there, Blake?
We are here. I hope you can hear us. And Josh, if you can come over here and tell me how to get the slides up here. I want to say hello to everybody and welcome to our hangout tonight, our second hangout. And we're excited to deliver some great content to you. Next to me, I have Stuart Titus, who I'm going to introduce in just a minute. You're going to be lucky to hear from Stu tonight. Wait till you do. You're going to wish you had a few more people on the call after you hear Stu's story. So Josh, can we pull up the slides here real quick? And let's show people what we're going to run through tonight. Okay, awesome. So I just wanted to give a couple quick updates before we get started and show you all who are on the call some of the things that we're working on. I'm super excited. Brad and I have been hard at work working on some tools that you can introduce in your business to make your business systematized. You know, tools don't do work for you, but it sure makes your work easier when you use tools. And so this is one of our first tools that we'll be launching here shortly. It's called Getting Started, your first 48 hours in the business. It shows you exactly what to do. It shows you how not to waste time, effort, energy, and money. And it shows you 10 very, very simple steps to start your business. Doesn't matter where you are in the world. And you could be in Texas, or you could be in California, or you could be in Florida. Doesn't matter. It's all the same. And when we all start doing the business the same way, that's when we can create some momentum in the business. And when every single person you introduce to the business does it exactly like you do it, and it becomes a tools-driven business instead of a personality-driven business, that's when we can all succeed in a massive way. So getting started your first 48 hours in business, I'd say we're about 2 weeks away from launching this. Make sure and be on these calls every week, because every week we're going to train a little bit about each step in the business so that you're all really well informed about how to get started the right way and how to kick your business into gear. Okay, it so happens that one of the steps in the process is to create the appropriate initial order. And you know what? What's appropriate for me may not be what's appropriate for Stu, or may not be what's appropriate for Brad. And so we have created 3 starter packs in Kannaway, and we have created a way for you to easily tell your new person the right way for him or her to enroll. You know, you'll have to figure out what their wants, their desires, their willingness to work. You got to figure out what they want in order for them to get started appropriately. Remember, it's not about you. It's about your new person, right? For a person who just wants to try out the products, the starter pack is a great way to start, a great value. $179, and they're going to get the Revive products. Remember last week we talked about how every company has to have a home run product. And this is Kannaway's home run product. Nobody else has it. You're going to hear Stu over here in a minute talk about the endocannabinoid system tonight. I can't wait for him to talk about that, right? We have a solution to the problem. Everybody needs CBD every single day. If you're out there and you just want to try the products, the starter pack is a great way for you to start. If you want to start a part-time business, The Junior Executive Pack would be perfect. It contains a mix of all of our products. It contains enough for you to get started by yourself and to share some samples with other people. It contains everything you need to start a part-time business. If you want to get all the way in, if you want to change your life and build a full-time business, then the Executive Pack is the only way for you to get involved. You see that? I just explained it in a simple, easy way. Anybody can explain that, and it becomes easy to ask a person, what do you want? Do you just want to try the products? Do you want to start a part-time business, or do you want to start a full-time business? It's very not uncomfortable. It's very comfortable to ask those simple questions and then let the candidate lead themselves into the easiest way to get started. Okay. Also, what's very cool, if you're going to start a business, either part-time or full-time in Kannaway, you need to come to the company's event. We are planning an event right now in San Diego that is going to blow your mind. We are going to have an amazing event coming up here. We're still trying to decide the time, whether it's going to be in October or the first week of November. It will be sometime within that block of time. The great deal is, whenever somebody new enrolls with either the Junior Executive Pack or the Senior Executive Pack, they're going to get a ticket to come to the Genesis 2016 event. Why Genesis? Because something new is coming. Something great is being born as we speak. It will come together in October/November in San Diego at the regional event. So get there. You've got your ticket right there. And finally, it's time now to introduce. Oh, I want to show you one more thing that we're working on, just why I can for 1 minute. I don't know how we can get the camera back up. How can we get the camera back up, Josh? You know, this also is one more tool that we're creating. This is just a paper copy right now, but this is going to be your flip chart. And so when you do meetings, you'll just easily be able to flip through the chart and tell the company's story. It'll tell about the company and the timing of the company. It'll talk about the endocannabinoid system in a way that you can describe it to your new customer or new brand ambassador. It'll talk about the products that we offer, which can help support the endocannabinoid system. Then it will talk about the compensation plan in just one page where you have all of the information. And then it will talk about the cause of our company. By the way, next week on this webcast, I'm going to share a little bit more with you about the cause of the company. We're involved in something great. We're involved in something that can change people's lives, and we can all do it together. More to come on that next week. Anyways, the time has come for me to introduce the CEO of our parent company and really a pioneer in the field of CBD. I don't think that we would be nearly where we are in the space without Dr. Stu Titus. He has more information on the subject than anybody I've ever met, of course, and extremely bright, knowledgeable, and a pioneer in our space. So without further ado, everybody, Dr. Stu Titus.
Blake, thank you so very much for the wonderful introduction. It's great to be here with Kannaway Nation this evening. I got this nice presentation for everybody. We're going to try to get into the science of CBD a little bit, but first we'd like to give you an overview of the company and let you know where things stand. So perhaps we can go ahead and maybe get some of the slides up first and then take it from there. So again, I'm Stuart Titus. I'm the president and CEO of the parent company, Medical Marijuana Incorporated. I'm also the president of a private equity company called General Hemp, LLC, who originally founded Kannaway. Anyway, about my history and background, I was a bond trader on Wall Street and an underwriter for 11 years, Credit Suisse First Boston, big investment banking firm at the time. Then got on to the medical field and was a PhD in the field of physiotherapeutics. I became very interested in medical cannabis because I saw a lot of the sport athletes I was treating, professional football players, hockey players, baseball, etc., all using this as a tremendous anti-inflammatory and pain-relieving medication. I went to a few medical seminars, and lo and behold, coming back to March of 2009, a public company was forming, Medical Marijuana Inc. It was the first publicly traded company in the U.S. markets based in this industrial hemp medical marijuana space, and became involved as the #7 investor. Today, we're comprised of a diversified portfolio of products and services, and we certainly are very excited about the opportunity and the future of the company as it has grown and evolved. So starting with my number 7 investor role, I've helped the company to raise venture capital throughout the years. We had new management come in March of 2011. They have decided to take me on, and we've been working with that management group ever since. This group was really involved in the CBD aspect of the business, and as we have evolved, we now have this wonderful board of directors. Of course, myself on the board, Michelle Sides, and 3 other prominent San Diego businessmen, Robert Cunningham, who's got some tremendous contacts in the political arena, Chris Prine, and Dr. Timothy Scott, who has been involved with nutraceutical companies for many years. And his experience, along with that, of course, Blake, we're certainly very excited about the future for Kannaway. Our advisors to the board, Drs. Anastasov and Van Dam, as well as Lekram Changoer from the Netherlands, have been very instrumental in some of our pharmaceutical development. They also provided a chewing gum based on cannabinoids. They've actually got a patent on that process, and certainly they're tremendous supporters and advisors to our board of directors. Our company at the moment is comprised of 4 divisions in nutraceutical sales: Hemp Meds, Dixie Botanicals, of course Kannaway, who we know and love, and then Canchu Biotechnologies. We do have 2 divisions dedicated to pharmaceutical development: Axum Biotechnologies and Canna Life Sciences. Interestingly enough, each pharmaceutical development division holds a patent on a particular molecule that is being researched for obviously a future pharmaceutical approval. And our Canna Life Sciences has 2 license agreements from our National Institutes of Health to develop pharmaceutical medications based on cannabinoids. Very, very exciting. Kannaway was founded by General Hemp going back to April of 2014. I was at that first event, and certainly was a tremendous kickstart and the launch to the start of tremendous ongoing business that at that same time, unfortunately, we also had a tremendous opportunity arise in Brazil that same year, and that redirected some of the company's focus in a way that was totally unexpected. But nonetheless, Kannaway was purchased from General Hemp by Medical Marijuana Inc. in December of 2014. And I would love to relate my story, because we're here in this nice closed loop network about how CBD has really changed and transformed my life. In the year 2014, I came down with a terrible nerve-related disorder known as Lyme's disease, very technically, and I was totally debilitated. I was virtually an invalid. The only future I thought was a nursing home. I had gone from being very active, very healthy in a very, very short period of time to having terrible excruciating pain, severe muscle spasm, and basically just getting up out of bed in the morning and getting dressed for work was a lengthy, very difficult process. Many times it was an hour and a half just trying to get fully dressed. It was maybe 20 minutes trying to get a t-shirt on in the morning. Just normal daily activity was extremely difficult. Nonetheless, it was about a year and a half after this that we came out with our first CBD-based products, and after going through every type of medical treatment and the rest without any kind of success, the first night on a 25 milligram capsule of CBD, I was able to sleep the full night through. I had terrible twitches, restless leg syndrome, muscle spasms throughout the night, and this first 25 milligram capsule of CBD was remarkable. Sleeping the first night through full in almost a 2-year period of time, and gradually over time I was able to rebuild the central nervous system. The muscles came out of that spasmodic state. I was able to get more range of motion, flexibility. I was able to learn how to, I was able to utilize my legs and walk normally again, and I had to go in for gait training just because I had such terrible nerve damage. I didn't know how to coordinate the movements and needed assistance to learn how to do those things again. But over the past few years, I've had a tremendous recovery. I now work 14, 16-hour days on a regular basis. I'm able to go walk and play 18 holes of golf on the weekend, swing in the golf club, maybe not quite at the level I used to, but nonetheless being able to enjoy a great quality of life and truly having a second chance at life. Someone my age is truly remarkable. Anyway, of course, our products going on from here are based in industrial hemp. We do grow our hemp overseas, and we then export the extracts, the hemp oil, the raw hemp oil here to the United States. We've developed this whole process and pipeline, everything from the development of the seed, the specialty seed that grows a high concentration CBD within the hemp crop, doing all the legal work, getting the special harvesters for the farmers, et cetera, et cetera. It's been a very lengthy process. Nonetheless, we truly feel that hemp has the ability to transform the American economy, potentially adding significant percentage points back to our nation's GDP once the numerous industrial aspects of this crop are fully laid out for us. And here are some of the potential industrial uses. Certainly hemp-based biofuels. These are clean biofuels that the biomass can be produced. In Brazil, basically they use sugarcane to produce ethanol for their gasoline. All the gasoline is ethanol based in that country, and they export their oil to world markets. Nonetheless, we think we could grow a significant amount of hemp here and potentially get us all fully 100% off of fossil fuels. Further, hemp textiles are something that are grown in the world markets. Hemp, before the cotton, gin, and the rest, hemp used to be the one crop that would produce textiles, and I think we're working on our way back towards that. Certainly, cotton is very expensive to grow today, and it's all done with a lot of agrochemicals and the rest. Certainly, hemp provides a much more eco-friendly alternative. Hemp-based bioplastics, certainly hemp has a tremendous application. It's actually being used overseas for car parts by both Mercedes and BMW. They make door panels as well as dashboards from hemp and other natural fibers. Certainly we think that we can replace all the plastic water bottles with hemp-based bioplastics that will actually biodegrade when placed in landfills and actually add nutrients back to the soil. So this transformation process over the coming years, I think, will be fantastic and be able to clean up a lot of toxic waste, both in our land today as well as that's accumulating out in the Pacific Ocean now, with a huge biomass there that's the size of Texas, then some. Hemp-based construction materials. Hemp is a significant builder, and we've had some great utilization of hemp for hemp board, hemp concrete. Pictured on the lower right here is a hemp house that was built in Asheville, North Carolina. The children of this family had multiple chemical sensitivities, and the parents wanted to do all that they could for their children. Hemp has tremendous insulative properties, keeping the house warm in winter and cool in summer. Plus, it has tremendous antibacterial, antimicrobial, antifungal properties that make it an excellent choice for building materials. We believe that here in San Diego, we will soon be building some mini hemp houses and shelters for people. And going back to the early 1900s, our local Santa Fe train station, as well as some of the museums over at Balboa Park, were all built from hemp construction materials. And in fact, in the late 1890s, early 1900s, the San Diego area was truly the hemp capital of America. And we're working to bring that back. Hemp has another great application for food products. There are many essential nutrients in hemp seed, which include essential fatty acids, essential amino acids, and these are considered essential because you have to get these from your diet. The essential fatty acids are in a very nice balance of omega-3 and omega-6, which certainly is brain food. Our essential amino acids help the body to build a healthy protein, And also these proteins are in the form of immunoglobulins, which help support the body's immune system. Interestingly enough, another industrial application would be hemp batteries. And chemical engineers, including Dr. David Midland from Clarkson University in New York, have found that hemp holds tremendous electrical properties, and the ability to store energy in a natural, sustainable, renewable battery is something that's truly going to be a game changer. Certainly for solar energy, the ability to store that energy. Generally at this time, it's either a use it or lose it type proposition. You have to use your power of that day because it dissipates. Here, the storage capacitor capabilities of hemp might be able to allow you with 1 day of sunshine to store enough energy for 4 days. Certainly this has great application potentially for electric vehicles as well, maybe being able to significantly extend the range, et cetera, et cetera. But again, these all natural, sustainable, renewable batteries will certainly be very much more popular in the coming months and years. And we're very proud to be part of that. Interestingly enough, the electrical properties of hemp certainly show some interesting abilities inside the human body because we are electrochemical beings, and even though our medical society likes to look at just the chemical component, certainly there's a tremendous electrical component. We routinely measure our brainwave activity with our EEGs, the electroencephalograms, or you normally see the heart activity. If you're in the hospital, you have an EKG and all that. The electrical activity of the muscles, many physical therapists measure the EMG, electromyography readings, and then there are nerve conduction studies that measure the ability of the nerve to communicate within the body. But we never really think about treating the body with these same electrical signals that we routinely measure. And we truly think that part of the magic, if you will, that this hemp-based CBD is able to provide for many individuals is, yes, partly due to the chemical reactions that happen within the body, but also the electrical reactions. And of course, your nerves, when they communicate, they send a signal down the nerve pathways, and they jump this little gap from nerve to nerve at the synapse. And this synapse, as it's called, is where all of our pharmaceutical intervention tries to take place, and thus pharmaceutical medications have not done very well with neurological conditions. Again, they're only targeting, at best, 2% of the overall communication network within the neuronal system. We'd like to feel that hemp-based CBD targets the full spectrum, 100% of all the nerve communication, the synapse, and then beyond. So getting into some of the science, in the future, I think the electrical properties of hemp-based CBD are really going to be something tremendously valuable. A little further on this, these two German scientists here pictured won the Nobel Prize in medicine back in 1992 for their research on the cell membrane. And basically, they were looking at all kind of chemical reactions that would allow for nutrients and products and the rest to enter into the cell. And it turned out that the cell membrane is controlled by an electrical process, that these tiny, minute microcurrent electrical signals allowed for the cells to open, thus certain nutrients to come in and waste products to also depart. Very interesting research. Certainly, if you look at the 100 trillion cells within our body, each cell is its own little mini battery, and the amount of electrical activity that goes on in our bodies, interestingly enough, could probably light the entire city of San Diego for many hours at a time. So don't poo-poo the electrical benefits of hemp. I know the medical community likes to look at the chemical side, but certainly we have significant electrical abilities within us, and I'm very excited about the future there. Getting into more of the science a little bit, certainly we've talked about industrial hemp and hemp oils, and we want to describe these cannabinoids, which are part of the hemp plant. The overall hemp plant may contain as many as 500 different chemical compounds, and 80 to 100 of these are known as cannabinoids. We're kind of familiar in our society with THC, which is the psychoactive cannabinoid. CBD now is becoming very popular as it's the non-psychoactive component that holds significant therapeutic value. And certainly we're involved in the research on CBD, our 2 pharmaceutical development divisions, and we're postulating a number of studies and the rest that can be done with this. And certainly in our RSHO product, which you get in your Kannaway products, there are a significant number of these trace cannabinoids that can be found in very small, minute proportion, but nonetheless have a very interesting synergistic effect when combined with all the other 400 chemical compounds, things such as terpenoids, flavonoids, plant waxes, chlorophyll, again, all synergistically act together. Interestingly enough, cannabinoids can be found in other plants besides the cannabis plant, which includes hemp and marijuana, certainly, but plants such as flax, echinacea, common tea, kava, hops will contain cannabinoids. And certainly we think that the future of medicine in the next 200 years will be devoted to various cannabinoids. Already we are researching 2 or 3 other very prominent cannabinoids, and the next one you might hear of being the next CBD will be something called CBG, or cannabigerol. Looking at the human body, anatomy and physiology, it was determined back in the mid-1980s that we have this very large self-regulatory system within us known as the endocannabinoid system, or the endogenous cannabinoid system. This system regulates significant processes from the human body: mood, appetite, sleep, and hormone regulation. It really regulates overall balance or homeostasis within us. And even though it's a tremendous, far-reaching in the number of potential applications, since it's a relatively new finding, and most of our medical society is still based in the 1940s and 1950s model, it seems that only 1 in 7 medical schools even mentions this endocannabinoid system, much less teaches anything about it. It's truly a shame, but certainly there's a good amount of information on the internet about the endocannabinoid system, and certainly those of you interested, I would recommend looking into this further. Plant-based cannabinoids have analogs in the human body, just meaning that our human bodies make our own endogenous cannabinoids. The major ones are called anandamide and another chemical compound called 2-AG. Interestingly enough, anandamide was found by Dr. Raphael McCoolum, a very famous cannabis researcher based in Israel. This was back in the 1960s, and he so named this chemical compound anandamide because going way back to Sanskrit times, that anandamide would mean the bliss chemical. We have receptor sites in our bodies for cannabinoids, the CB1 and the CB2 receptor. Generally, the CB1 receptor is found in the brain and along the spine and the central nervous system. The CB2 receptor is found in the internal organs, the viscera, and controls mostly immune function. Interestingly enough, if you look at the neurotransmitter receptor sites in the brain and the number of those neurotransmitter receptor sites for the CB1 receptor, and then you look at all the other receptor sites for other neurotransmitters, the CB1 receptor outnumbers all these other neurotransmitter sites combined. So truly, our bodies are meant to accept these cannabinoids, and we truly feel these plant-based cannabinoids will supplement this large self-regulatory system within us, and certainly there is a need to take these cannabinoids on a daily basis. Down at the bottom on the lower right, we have a little kind of a click here type of thing where you can review the endocannabinoid system. Dr. David Allen has a great 3.5-minute overview. I don't know if I click there, it's going to come up right now, but certainly I'd recommend for everyone to view that because it's truly worthwhile. Here is depicted the CB1 and the CB2 receptor sites that I had previously talked about. Again, the largest amount of neurotransmitter receptor sites in the brain for the CB1 receptor. I think that basically allows us to say, my gosh, we should all be taking plant-based cannabinoids for sure. Again, supplementing this large self-regulatory system, I think our products are tremendous as far as plant-based cannabinoids. I take the products daily, and certainly have had tremendous benefit from this. We're getting not only physical function, but also mental health, mental skills, and acuity. Truly, at nearly age 60, I feel like I'm a 25-year-old bond trader on Wall Street many times with the abilities I've been able to recapture over the past few years. So I hope you all have a similar experience. I just would like to also, getting near the conclusion here, but there is a syndrome that's being now postulated by the medical community called clinical endocannabinoid deficiency syndrome. And if one is deficient in cannabinoids throughout the body, will basically develop these treatment-resistant conditions. Things such as fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue, migraine headache, irritable bowel syndrome are all in this research. And I believe that if you were to click on this link, you can pull up that particular research and see this is published on the National Institutes of Health's websites. I know we have plenty more to go over, and I think we're getting near the end of our time for today, but certainly in coming weeks and months, I'd be thrilled to come back and do more in terms of education. I think our products are absolutely incredible. There's a concept in cannabis called the Entourage Effect. Again, I mentioned that very briefly. The combination, the synergistic effect of all these cannabinoids, plant materials, waxes, flavonoids, terpenoids, and all are fantastic. But nonetheless, when you add the horsepower of the herbal remedies from JBK Labs and Dr. Janelle Kim together, you truly get an amazing synergistic effect. And the Kannaway products are like RSHO on steroids. I know we've had a lot of press, and there's stories about RSHO abounding around the internet and the rest. You could look them all up, and my gosh, we can't wait for you people to bring in stories about Kannaway's products and how superior these truly are. The synergies, the effects, the rest is, I think, going to have truly game-changing abilities throughout healthcare, people's overall health and wellness, and certainly the future is extremely bright. I look forward to being involved for probably the rest of my life.
Wow, so that was incredible. I want to thank Stu, everybody, Dr. Titus, an amazing job. Let me just recap a few things that I picked up there. What I picked up while Stu was talking was we're at the very forefront of something, right? And as Stu started talking about some of the benefits of industrial hemp, I was thinking about the applications in the future for our products, right? This is a company that's never going to stop developing, never going to stop innovating. We are on the forefront of something massive that will occur with or without us. And so if you can add your special, unique skills to it to make it go a little bit faster, I think that you can benefit greatly. I think that I can benefit greatly if I do the same. And Stu certainly is already doing that, being a pioneer in the space. And then I heard him describe the endocannabinoid system. You know, over the coming months, weeks, months, and years, it is going to be the mission of this company to proclaim to the world that we all have a major regulatory system in our body called the endocannabinoid system that most people don't even know about. And then we're going to provide a solution with our amazing products on how to make sure that we're feeding our endocannabinoid systems and our CB1 and CB2 receptors that Stu explained. We're going to create a category. That's exciting. There's not many companies out there in the networking space that are creating categories. We're creating a category. I hope you're as excited as I am about it. With that, I want to just say next week we're going to have, well, first of all, you know, Stu did such an amazing job. I want everybody to know Stu's going to be on this webcast once a month. So we're on a 4-week rotation. Stu's going to be back 4 weeks from now to pick up where he left off.
Wonderful. If I may just quickly add, I believe at the end of this presentation, probably tomorrow, we'll have up on our website a few of my links, various presentations, those of you who want some more information on the science, as well as we, I think, are going to have some of the top videos that we've had over the years, just news stories and the rest. People have been using our CBD product. And I think if you see those, you'll see why we are so passionate about this. This is for many people, truly life-changing. We have many parents with children with difficult situations, and to make their quality of life better. Certainly, we think many senior citizens will do well with this to improve their quality of life in later years. I think there's application for everybody, and certainly we think everyone on this planet, not only humans but also animals, because they also have this endocannabinoid system, need these plant-based cannabinoids on a daily basis.
Great. That is speaking the same language as I'm speaking. So Stu's going to be on in another 4 weeks. Make sure and get your best and brightest, the people in your business, the people that aren't yet in your business, to hear from Dr. Stuart Titus, a pioneer in this space. Next week, we're going to have Janelle Kim. Stu and Janelle work closely together. Stu's really into the science behind our product, and he makes sure that Janelle is formulating it the right way once we receive the product into the United States. So Janelle is the formulator of our products. She is an amazing, amazing woman, and very, very knowledgeable about our products and how to formulate them the right way. You may have heard, if you've looked on our website, about B-Bomb. Well, she's going to be talking about that next week. You can learn all about it from Janelle Kim next week. Don't miss the chance to be on this Google Hangout next week. And with that, Brad, we're going to throw it back to you.
Well, thanks both of you, and Blake for recapping, and Dr. Stu, thank you for all that information. And the thing I took out of everything that you mentioned and we saw tonight, and you saved it to the end, is how our products are like the RSHO products that are prescribed in Brazil and have had so much success and so much documentation behind them. Our products are like RSHO on steroids because of the oils and because of the B-Bong formula. So folks, if you wanted any more credibility, you wanted any more talking points to talk to people about, as people find out about RSHO and all the results and all the facts behind them, you can just relay to them that our products, because of the B-Bong formula, because of the way it's extracted and formulated, are like RSHO on steroids. We've, and Dr. Stu, have learned this from you and many others there. We've had cases of people who've had amazing results with the RSHO products and have moved over to the Kannaway products and are taking lesser dosages and having better results. So thank you so much for sharing all that, Dr. Stu. I can't wait till 4 weeks from now. I can't wait for next week with Janelle Kim and just continuing the Wednesday night webinars. Thank you very much, both of you.
Fantastic. I look forward to being on next week myself. But Janelle Kim is fantastic. I would not miss it for the world.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Kannaway Nation. God bless and good night.
Bye-bye, everybody.